Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Man United Agenda. And it's tonight, your transfer show. So please hit that share, like, subscribe button. Let's get it started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Man United Agenda. And tonight is your transfer show. And there is super hot topic that's going on. Even we'll let Big Phil pump his chest out and take one and say, listen, I was right. Pump that chest up. So, as always, welcome panel, Mr. B, Talk MU, Big Phil with the chest out, and the host with the most, OS. Welcome. Welcome, guys. So, Big Phil, I'm starting with you because I'm so excited about this. Rumor has it that Manchester United is almost that close in a new contract with Paul Pogba for almost 450k a week. Oh, no. Get the paper, sign it right now. The reason behind it as well is the simple fact is no other team out there due to the pandemic can afford to sign him, even if he goes on a free injury next season. So, Big Phil, you both admire this guy. He's world class. He is the best. He's going to be, I'm saying it right now, guys, on the United agenda. Player of the season next season, or Man United player of the season. And you heard it here first on the United Agenda. So, Big Phil, talk to us about this absolutely amazing deal to pull it off. Talk to me.
No, I think the figure is around 420k a week. That's what I was told, because I was told that on a podcast that I was on last night, right? And this will be one of the best pieces of business that United do this summer, right? As I've mentioned on previous podcasts, we need as much squad depth to compete against the Cities and the Liverpools and the Chelseas and what's not, right? We also need squad depth not only in the EPL, we also need squad depth for the FA Cup and the Champions League that we're backing as well too, right? Another thing I mentioned is that I would like to see a formidable partnership formed between Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes, similar to what maybe like Xavi and Iniesta had at Barcelona, or what Toni Kroos and Luka Modric had at Real Madrid, right? I don't see why that's not possible. So I mean, we'll talk later on about the formation that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is looking to possibly deploy. But if it is true that Pogba was looking to renew for 20k that's quoted, I'm glad he's doing it, right? Because I think both parties need each other, right?
OS, talk to me. You do not, I don't know, you like Paul Pogba, but for you think we can do better than Paul Pogba. But with this signing, does this send a sign to show other clubs that Man United is still the biggest club in world football?
How do I approach this? Okay. Yes, like you just said, I like Paul Pogba. Also, you just said a minute ago that, you know, because no other clubs could pay that money for him, he's there. The only question I ask is, does he want to be there? It's the only question I ask. Is he just there for the money? Or is he there because he wants to bring United back to where they need to be? Now, one thing on his side, I'll give him an advantage, benefit of a doubt, is maybe he's stalling to sign the contract to see what players Man United will sign to know how big the ambition is. And if that's the case, fair enough, and I give him that respect, because the club have to be as ambitious as our players. But 450 or 420, as you're mentioning, first of all, I don't, like, you know already how I feel. I don't believe that he's warranted that fee that he's getting right now, but that's a different conversation. Secondly, The only way, you mentioned he's going to be player of the season next season for Manchester United. I don't see it. But the only way that could happen is if United get a super defensive midfielder where Pogba doesn't have to defend. If we do that, then, you know, Pogba could thrive next season. But my love is for Manchester United. And I don't want to lose our best players. You know, potential-wise, Pogba, of course, is one of our best players. Anyone can see that. And if we can get the best out of him next season, then this deal that they're doing right now will look to be a good deal. If that's a big if, though.
Going to Talk MU. Talk MU. Man United right now in a current financial state due to the pandemic right now. Man United re-signing Paul Pogba has to be taken, because if we were to go out to get the likes of another player very similar to Paul Pogba, we would have to be paying, what, 100, 150 million for that player?
Well, yeah, but I mean, not necessarily, is it? I mean, with what OS just said there and what we've said previously about Pogba, I just repeat what OS just said. I mean, this is going to work if we do get, you know, if we get that defensive-minded midfielder. You know, there's somebody who can be the, you know, who can do the running and the protection part of the game. Because, as we know, Pogba, that's not what he is about. And you can't have players doing what they're not good at. He's just not good at it. So he's good at what we know he's good at, you know, forward playing. So, I mean, if this is true, obviously, I've just got to go with it. I can't, you know, there's nothing I can do or anybody else can do if the club have decided they're going to pay him this kind of money. And then I just hope, like OS said, I just hope that he's now playing with his heart and not just the pound signs. You know, I hope he's playing with his heart and he really wants to sort of. But do you know what I mean? All those who said that it's time for him to move on. If we do get this DM that we're all raving and craving, he could well prove us all wrong. And I just hope that is the case, because if he's given the freedom to stay up, you know, and not have to do any tracking back and be in dangerous areas. Listen, you put a player with his abilities in dangerous areas when the opposition are trying to attack you, they've got a big problem on their hands. Simple as that. When he's dropping back, that threat has gone. You know, you've got, so we're saying with Bruno, if Bruno ends up in ridiculous positions when we're trying to defend, we haven't got a DM. That's where we, you know, the whole thing. It's like pumping a balloon up and then letting all the air out and then having to pump it up again. It's just, you know, you're going around in circles. You're never going to get anywhere. So, yeah, if the DM comes in and Pogba's playing with his heart, rivals better start praying. Simple, isn't it?
Exactly. So, going on to Mr. B. Okay,
Muted,
let's go to the person. Oh,
no,
God,
Mr.
I'm
B's
muted. Mr. B's muted. Mr. B's muted and he's pointing to me.
Sorry.
I'll go to you before we go on to our guest, our special guest. With it's I can't understand what Talk MU and everyone else is saying. But I look at Pogba, I just think we need a defensive midfield player, yes. So we need someone to do all the running for him, give him that space. At the same time, for Man United, it's a statement that's been sent out. Again, OS said it. Is it he was waiting to see what players or clubs after it? But when I see Paul playing at the moment, he's playing for Smile.
For Smile? Did you say for Smile?
He's playing with a smile.
He's playing
I'll
with
tell
a
you why
smile.
quickly. Let me just say quickly, Solo. The reason he's playing with a smile is because I'd be playing with a smile, mate, with 400k a week going into my bank, mate. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what? Yeah, the guys. Listen, I'll just quickly say the guy, Paul Pogba is just. It's so much. I want him to be what I know he can be. I really do, because he's so. It's just such a fun lad, isn't it? It's so full of fun and mischief and character, but with super deadly abilities and skills. and even the mental side of the game. So if that player comes in behind him to release him, bang.
Mr. B, talk to me about this. How can I put it? The French Leon. Talk to me.
Prince Paul staying. It's not my money. I'll be honest, okay? It's cheaper for as much money as it's gonna cost. It probably works out cheaper for Manchester United to be paying him the money that they want to pay him than trying to sell him and replace him in the same window, because Man United don't do that. Ability wise, we all know what he's got. I can't believe that us five in here, plus Reese, when we hear his words in a minute, would be thinking that we need a CDM, and nobody at the club is looking at a CDM. So the process that they've started this season, for whatever reason, we all have our beliefs as to why things are moving. But again, if they get this deal done, plus whoever else we're going to talk about in the show, then it has to be. We have to be moving forward. Him on ability, they have to cater to his strengths now. Let's be honest. He wants to get paid. He wants £425,000. That son of a bitch. And I like Paul Pogba, but he better be player of the season.
That's what
he has to be. He has to be. There's no way he can, or Manchester United can afford to have him play like he was playing prior to the 6 months. I don't know what his motivation is. Is his motivation wanting to be the highest paid player, weekly player in the world? Was he looking for, as everybody's talking about, this £500,000 a week, this super barrier? It's going to be broken, but dear God, don't let it be us that's going to be breaking it. You know,
Mr. B, let me say, Antoine Griezmann at Barcelona was getting €750,000 a week.
Oh yeah, it's already broken. I mean, Messi too. Messi's getting a lot as well.
Messi's on about 1.2 something million.
Yeah, Messi was at one point on 1.7 million a week. You know what's 1.7 million a week? If I was on 1.7 million a week, I would not be on the Man United agenda. I would.
You know what's funny? Everyone's like, "Oh my God, you know Messi's signing. He's so nice. He's taking a 50% pay cut. 50% pay cut. He's still getting more than everyone else."
Thank you. Thank you.
That's the killer.
Just to add one more thing before I pass it to you guys, right? Lionel Messi has renewed his contract 9 times in 11 years.
Reese,
Crazy.
welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the channel. So, talking about Paul Pogba, world-class Pogba. Pogba cannot do wrong at Manchester United. Give him the new contract. What do you make of this whole thing with him? Is he playing, do you reckon, for the first 4 or 5 months, do you reckon he was playing for a new contract? Or do you actually generally believe he was actually playing for the club? And also with this transfer, if it was to go ahead and he was to sign a new contract, do you think this would prove that Man United are in the big time again?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. So, evening, lads, or afternoon, depending where you are. So that's probably butchered everything. In terms of the Paul Pogba situation, it's like a never-ending cycle. I've always been on the point of you don't want to lose your best players unless you can replace them. But to be fair, how can you replace a player of his quality? There's no one in world football that can play like Paul Pogba. There's no one like that in world football. But
That's big Phil.
I'm not used to getting applauses. But in all respect, he is a player that you want to have in your team. But You asked a very important question there. Is he playing for the team or is he playing in the short window? It depends really, because every player wants to be in a position where they can achieve their dream of whatever club they want to play for. Some players want to play for Man United. Some people want to play for the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona. And that's understandable. They are perhaps the three biggest clubs in world football, if not the three biggest.
Mhm.
And you look at what they have at their disposal, not just the finances, unless you're Barcelona or Real Madrid, the current climate, because they're buggered. You would still want to play for them because it's the prestige and the quality that they have in there. But I genuinely think he wants to stay. But if he wants to stay, I completely agree with OS's comments. I completely agree. Whatever Man United choose to do in terms of the players they bring in will dictate whether Pogba signs. For me, the crucial one is Raphael Varane. If we get Varane, he stays. If we don't get Varane, he's going next year on a free.
Good points.
Oh man, I'm invited Reese to my wedding.
Yeah, if there's one thing you can't, if there's one thing you cannot guarantee, you can't guarantee a good party from a Scotsman.
Oh, brilliant! Absolutely, thank you so much. Can we go through some of these comments, please, Mr. B, to find out what these guys? Charles Williams, welcome, Charles Williams, Liverpool fan.
Yeah, he's always giving us the banter. Am I reading or are you reading, Sola?
Yeah, go on, you can do it because I'm far away.
Cool. One from Charles Williams. Evening, gents. If United get these signings, United should win a trophy, and should United win and make the top four,
100%. 100%.
At least.
Can I just add something to that? That cycle now of us with the top four, that ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Until they break the management and backroom staff. If they break that, that's when that might change. So for me, I don't see us suddenly not making a top four or the top four becoming a struggle. I think we're already in that groove. We just need to get the groove now to 96 RPM to get us over the line in a final.
I get you, talking you. I get you, but Liverpool probably will not be the same this season as they were last season. Chelsea, will be strong. City, we all know what City will do, and as we spoke about before, United last season, some may have overachieved because at the beginning of the season, I don't think anybody would have predicted us finishing second, but some may have predicted we would have finished in the top four. So it's going to really depend on, do we continue this form that we were in, even though that form died down towards the end, and maybe that's because of players being tired or whatever. But do we continue that form, or do we go back to the inconsistency that we've been known to be? So I think there's a lot of questions there. I'm not saying we will finish outside the top four. I don't see it. But if that inconsistency comes back, you never know.
But OS, the thing for me is if you look at it, you talk about Chelsea and Liverpool. So Liverpool, they're having to get back up off their knees. Chelsea are about to, go into it and set the blindfold off. So we've got an advantage over them, in my opinion, in terms of, our momentum and everything else. So I don't think we need to worry about them teams, because they're going to have their own problems to deal with.
I think the fact that we're going to have a pre-season is crucial. The fact that we're going to have a pre-season this year as well. Like, we didn't have that last year, and our season started with a delayed fixture. Like, we were supposed to play, Brighton first game of the season, but that didn't happen. We ended up playing Crystal Palace and we got beat 3-1. I don't even remember that game because Fosu Mensah was put it right back. But you look at that, our season ended because we had to obviously go play the Europa League, which didn't help. Obviously, we all wanted to win that trophy. We didn't in the end. Obviously, we lost to Sevilla in the semi-finals, so eventually went on to win it. But the fact that we have a pre-season now and we don't have to travel to the likes of the US or China as well as local games, that gives us good stead to have an assault on the league. And the fact that me and yourself, we've spoken privately a few times, and we've both agreed that the team that we play first constantly is the team that's going to do us a massive favour. We play Leeds first game of the season, and that's going to be important for us because the way they play, the energy, the the constant attacking play and the fact that they've improved defensively as well, they're going to give us a really tough test at the start of the season. So that gives you a proper test. And I actually like our chances, because if it had been somebody else, like a Norwich or a Brentford to start the season, even though we play them second and third, that's not what you want first game of the season. You want a proper test. And the fact that we got Leeds, that gives me a little bit more confidence of, let's see where this team goes.
The question,
Bielsa gone. And I was
No,
going to say,
I'm
with
gonna-
Bielsa's team as well, Bielsa's team, you know they're going to come out, and it's technically a derby game as well, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
And back to what you're saying about the first game of the season, playing against Crystal Palace and losing it. And we have players playing all over the place, but I'm going to still blame all goals on Lindelof. Sorry, I had to bring it out there.
I got to challenge this guy, Charles Williams. So, I mean, you know, kudos to Charles for coming on the minority agenda and commenting, right? Now, I'm seeing in the comments that Charles is saying that, you know, there are plenty of world-class midfielders out there, right? So the question I have for Charles, tell me 5 world-class midfielders out there right now that are available come to Manchester United, right? That's the very first question I have for you. And then if you can't do that, I won't have any more questions for you. Okay? We'll still do it.
Can I add to your question? Can I add to your question?
Yeah.
Oh, please, what a load of twaddle, right? Well, here's one. If you listen to what I said in terms of world class, there's not a world class player like Pogba. He's a totally different type of player. So if you have to replace Pogba, you need somebody else. So if we were to let Pogba go, who do we sign? Because frankly, you would have to get a different type of player. And there aren't many out there that would just automatically walk into this team and go, yeah, we're going to improve it. Not really.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Because a lot of people don't realize that. Let's go back 50 years, because we couldn't replace Cristiano Ronaldo. We couldn't replace Roy Keane. We couldn't replace Edwin van der Sar until we got David De Gea. And we could not replace Gary
Schmeichel until we got Van der Sar.
Exactly. So Schmeichel to Van der Sar, and then Van der Sar to David De Gea, right? But that took some time, right? We still could not replace Gary Neville, one of our best right backs, until we got Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We couldn't even replace Patrice Evra until we got Luke Shaw. Back to Roy Keane, we still have not replaced Roy Keane. And we're hoping that Jadon Sancho can live up to 3/4 of what Cristiano Ronaldo gave us, right? So if we're going to sell Paul Pogba, sure, let's sell Paul Pogba, but tell me 5 players who we can replace him with. And I'll wait. Over to you, Solo.
Thank you, Big Phil. Going back to Charles Williams, with Charles Williams, obviously being a Liverpool fan, on here as well, we've got Silver Fox, but we'll get into that in a minute. Always. City,
Holding over Varane.
City on it again.
Yeah.
City's on it again.
They're just
Come on, City.
Rival banter is just unmatched, isn't it?
no, they're just
City is
because
back.
they,
City is back.
Can I just ask you, right? I was listening to a certain radio station right earlier today, and they were talking about, there was a City fan and there was a Man United fan, and the City fan was saying that John Stones is better than Varane.
What?
Oh mate, never had such a laugh in my life. It was amazing.
So,
What was he smoking to make that decision?
they wouldn't be
I don't
saying
know,
that. It's only because he's connected to Man United and he possibly could come to Man United. So everybody turns against those players. It happens year in, year out. All opposition
it's a
fans do
story.
that.
You could write a book about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're liking the content, please smash that like, smash that subscribe, and thank you, Reese, as a special guest being on tonight. So now, guys, we're going to move on to Varane. Imminent deal.
Varane.
Blast from the past.
You reminded me of the good old Veron just then.
No, not Varane.
Yeah, not Varane.
Varane.
I wouldn't mind some early 2000 midfield magic all over again.
Yeah.
Well, listen, he brings some magic back to us, innit? I never rated him, but he was a world-class player. But yeah. But let's talk about the defender, the Real Madrid defender. Guys, the deal for me is, I don't trust it at all. I honestly don't trust it. He's a defender we want, And I think if he comes, like what we were talking about earlier, Pogba will stay at Manchester United. I just don't trust it. I just think he's using us as a stepping stone to get another contract from Real Madrid, which is a bigger contract. So let's go to start off with Reese, our special guest. Reese, Varane coming to Man United. Is it again where he's going out and instead of sort of signing a new contract with Real Madrid, where he's going to stay at Real Madrid, I can see him staying. I can't see him going to United, but he's using it to get a bumper boost on his contract.
To be fair, there is a tale. As they say in football, it's a tale of two halves. So I'm going to use that in the context of yes, he could be using it for the money, but I don't necessarily think he is. I think he's won everything there is to win at Real Madrid in 10 years that he's physically been able to do. He's won the World Cup, he's won the Champions League, he's won the Super Cup, the Club World Cup, he's done it all. He's won the league multiple times. Frankly, I think now being 27, 28,
28, yeah.
a new challenge, a couple of years in the Premier League, maybe like a bit longer. I think he wants that challenge. So I think now it just depends on, does he make the move? I think he will. I think you'll see something in the next couple of weeks that gives us a little bit more concrete. But if I had to give like my view, like what's going to happen, yes or no, I reckon he's going to be a Man United player by the start of the season.
Right. Yep, I agree. A lot of people don't realize that. I think Varane actually said that he is not signing a new contract at Real Madrid, right? I think he said that. That's the first thing. Second thing, a lot of people don't realize that the Real Madrid environment is very toxic. Look at Casillas, look at Raul, look at Cristiano Ronaldo. 3 Real Madrid legends, and they got the worst sending offs from leaving Real Madrid, right? The third thing I'll mention before I hand it off to you guys, right? Rafael Varane, in his Real Madrid career, has been on the bench a couple of times in a specific season. You want to know who the manager was that put him on the bench?
Ancelotti.
Carlo Ancelotti, right? Who's going to be managing Real Madrid next season? Carlo Ancelotti, right? So it's almost like it's pointing towards the exit door for Varane at Real Madrid. Am I confident he will play at Manchester United at the start of the season? I'm not fully confident, but I'm a little bit confident, right? A lot of people are saying that, you know, if Varane comes, Pogba will stay. I think it's actually the opposite way around. If Pogba stays, Varane will come. That's just my opinion, right? So I don't know what you guys think.
Another thing as well. I'm sorry, I was just going to say there as well. As on the back of it, you mentioned like what Varane's achieved. Varane himself, like you mentioned, the whole situation with Real Madrid. Look at what Perez has recently just said about Casillas and Raul. He said they weren't fit to wear the Real Madrid shirt.
Thank you.
And Varane's been at Real Madrid since he was 19. Imagine he got told that to his face. Won everything there is to win. I wouldn't want to play for a club like that. I'd be out. I don't care what they've won. If that's how you value your legends, then see you later, mate.
And Casillas and Raul are guys who came through the Real Madrid youth system. They came through the youth system. And for Perez to say that about players who put Real Madrid on the map both in La Liga and in Europe, like you said, Reese, I myself wouldn't want to play for Real Madrid either.
It's not the Real Madrid that I remember watching like growing up, like the early 2000s Real Madrid that was scary on all fronts and dominating everything. This is totally different. This is a toxic environment for a team that still wears that legendary white shirt. It's not the Real Madrid that you fear anymore. It's just the Real Madrid that you feel pity towards, and it's because of Perez.
True, yeah, toxic there right now. OS, going on to you. Fit for him at Man United. Would it be the perfect fit with him at Man United? Because obviously we know we struggle at centre back, and we've been talking about quite a long time on the show. We desperately need a new centre back at the club. Do you believe now this will be a perfect fit if he would come to Man United because he wants to come to Man United, not because of he wants a new pay package at Real Madrid, or he wants a bumper deal coming to Man United?
Varane is coming. That's all I'm saying. He is coming. Like, I wasn't this confident before. I wasn't this confident. I'm not going to lie, because I had the same worries as you guys about him using it to get a bigger contract. But as you guys have mentioned, he's won everything. He's done everything that needs to be done at Real Madrid. Also, a few years ago, he's even said that he likes the Premier League and he one day maybe will play in the Premier League. And this is the time. This is the crossroads. Like, I feel like Real Madrid have already broken the trust with Rafael Varane, because he's been trying to get a new deal over the course of last season, like 3-4 times. And Real Madrid always put him on the back burner because they were trying to tie down other people. They were trying to get the other defender, Alba, to the team before even doing anything with him. So they really didn't prioritize him. And you can see that now. And just today, I was listening to Fabrizio Romano again talking about the situation. And he made it clear. He said, this guy wants a new challenge. This is clear. He wants a new challenge. He likes the Premier League. Man United, personal terms with him and Man United will not be an issue, which was an issue with Real Madrid. This right now is not an issue. All that needs to happen is that Man United need to meet whatever fee that Real Madrid are asking for. And Real Madrid are not really in a position of power because he only has 1 year left on his contract. So I really believe that he's going to come to Manchester United. And answering your question, I think it's crucial that we have Varane at Man United, because I think it's the ultimate partner for Maguire. Not a good partner, he's the ultimate partner for Maguire, because he has all the things that Maguire lacks, everything. Whereas Maguire has the things that maybe Varane is not so strong at. So I'm really, really intrigued to see that partnership come to fruition.
And you look at the centre backs he played with as well. Whilst he was at Real Madrid, who he was learning under? He was learning under Sergio Ramos, and he was learning before he moved on. He was learning under Pepe as well. The Pepe is a bit of a cycle. We all know that. But if there's one thing that man can do, that man can defend, and he's definitely improved. He definitely improved him to a T. So frankly, why wouldn't you pass us? If we pass this opportunity, I would be gobsmacked.
Same here.
So OS, I'm sorry. So talk MU. Man United at the moment, the rumor is it's about 50 million euros for us to get him. Do you, with the Glazers as our owner, we just went out and spent 73 million on Jadon Sancho. Could you see them going out now and spending 40 or 42 million pounds extra now on a defender, even though we need the defender? Or do you think they'll bring Phil Jones back in? That's all I had to get it. I had to.
They're gonna listen. The Glazers know, as well as the board knows, who advises them that, you know what. And I said it before, like even before the Euros, we were talking about the Glazers with the transfer window and everything else. And I said, minimum, it's going to be minimum 200, maybe more like minimum 250 that we need to be spending. And for me, they understand that the price of our success is now getting very dear indeed. So I think it's going to happen. I don't think there's going to be any problem for them to sort of release those kind of funds for him. And yeah, it's going to be he'll be a great player for us. You know, you can just throw him straight in the deep end, and he's going to come straight to the top. You know, and make that spot his own. And also in terms of the Real Madrid thing. You know what I mean? We will pay him more money. So when you add that those two things together, which is a really huge wage packet with the new challenge of coming to the Premier League, but you're not just coming to the Premier League. You are coming to the biggest club in England, right? The most dominant club in the Premier League era, which is Manchester United. That for him, at the age that he's at now, given what he's won with Real Madrid. He doesn't need to. He's not in a position where he's thinking about money. This money, extra money, is a bonus for him, right? He's already set for generations to come. So the money side of it is a bonus for him. So being able to put that on his CV and tell his grandkids about that and have that in his, in his locker, playing for Real Madrid and Manchester United like Cristiano Ronaldo, then what? You know what I mean? He's coming. Simple.
Oh, Mr. B in the corner, Mr. B. So, Mr. B, with this, obviously, OS is very confident. I think Reece is confident with this signing. I'm not so confident as they are. do you feel very confident with this sign? And do you believe, again, I think it's Oed said it, if it went down with Pogba will probably stay at the club if we make this signing. Do you think Pogba will have a massive influence in this signing, him coming to Man United?
Nope. I don't even care because he's coming. This is my thing. If he comes, surely we don't need to play the two. I'm just looking at a jigsaw puzzle that might be starting. You know what I mean? I see your comment. I see your comment, Silver Fox. Yes, I am awake. Yeah, I see your comment, bitch. Sorry. What I was saying. Yeah. If he comes in, maybe. Can I ask? If he comes in, do you think we could change the formation?
Yes, we could.
Of course.
100%.
He signs that 4-2-3-1's gone.
Yeah. So we'll probably play a 4-1-2-3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So four in the back, and then hopefully a very good defensive midfielder, and then
Declan Rice.
Guys,
Yeah.
can you guys see the smile on Mr. B's face when we all said about changing formation, about not playing that too?
That's the
He
only way.
definitely woke up there and then, didn't he?
That's the only way that the formation. That's the only way formation will change, though, right? If we get a defensive midfielder, like I don't think Varane alone is enough to change the formation, right?
Someone that's competent in the role, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm going to still put it out there, and Ndidi is my guy, but whether or not we can afford him, that's another thing. So can we read some of these comments before we move on to the last segment for the night?
Yeah, we've got a few on here. Obviously, Charles. Let's have a go. He was here. He was when we were talking about Ramos and PSG. Look, we know we obviously, Scouse, you have your opinion. When some people are shopping at Harrods and others are shopping at Marks and Spencer's, it's just the levels. You know, every now and then you get a sweet strawberry from Marks and Spencer's, but if you're buying from Harrods, you're looking for sweet strawberries all the time, and we can afford the sweet strawberries. Don't hate.
No, but this comment also, just to add to this comment is not true. I mean, before Ramos even went to PSG, Ramos didn't get offered the contract he wanted. PSG wanted Varane. That's who they wanted. But since Ramos didn't get offered the contract from Real Madrid and he said, I'm going to leave, it's free. So they're not paying money and they've got issues with money. So, of course, they're going to go for the free option. It doesn't mean he's a better option. It's the free option that is probably going to give you a year or two at most, where Varane will give you another 5-6 years. So it's not that they chose Ramos. It's just that it made more financially sense for them. And that's the only thing that they had as a plan.
Yeah. Agree.
One from Linville. Sorry, next one here from Linville Stewart. Evening agenda gang. Evening Linville. We've got one from here from Reese. Any Ben White news? I've got some Ben White news.
It's funny because Ben White cost 50 million and Rafael Varane cost 50 million as well too. I know who I'm picking all day, every day.
Is Ben White
this way?
Yeah, is Ben White
any Ben White news?
Gabriel?
In Brighton.
Sorry, go on. I was just gonna say, is Ben White even better than Gabriel or Holding or like? And they pay 50 million?
The problem isn't ours. Let's leave it.
It's true. Let's move on.
We don't need a player like Ben White. We go for the elite, not for someone from Brighton. We don't want the backup.
The problem is Silver Foxes. That's who the problem is. Leave it with
One from Charles Williams. 12 million a year, Real offering less than that. They told him if he doesn't accept the offer, they'll sell him. Fair enough. But it's good that you've accepted that he's a very good defender. Is he Van Dijk level? We'll see as the season goes along. It's going to be an interesting that's going to be interesting viewing there actually. Silver Fox, you hope he's good, and you haven't learned from Ramos. 10 cards last season.
He's learned how to defend. Like he won't be like the red card version of Varane, but he'll be like the defensive side of it. Like that's what he's learned. He's became a leader because of Ramos.
Yeah.
And now we're
Welcome,
getting
one
a
love.
lead.
Welcome.
Linville Stewart, another one. I think the Glazers are going to spend this season because they're trying to shut the fans up. No?
Have they been,
listen,
have they been living
listen,
under a rock
if you-
for the past 16 years?
if you-
They don't know how to shut fans up.
If you invest in a really exotic plant, like I don't know, a bonsai tree, right? That is 1,000 years old. You ain't gonna let it, like, you're not gonna let it dry up, are you? You've got to feed your investment, and this is what the Glazers are doing. They have to feed their investment, otherwise they damage it. Simple.
Yep.
I do believe
Top man you and his analogies, people. Top man you and his analogies.
At least I didn't use food. I usually use food, but I thought I'll leave it on that one.
Yeah, yes, that's because you finished your ice cream.
Yeah.
I do believe
One
a lot
from
of
Rich
those.
Sports here. One from Rich
Hello,
Sports.
Rich.
Hi, all.
Hello, Rich.
Hi, Rich.
Yeah, big up Rich.
Mr. Silver Fox, no. I won't be talking about any peaches or melons until we sign these players. Harrods.
Di
Yes.
Maria.
Yes.
Team
He
Maria.
was a Harrods player, but he was faulty, so we had to bring him back.
Refund.
We
No,
got
he
a
wasn't
refund.
faulty. Mr. B, he wasn't. No, he wasn't faulty, mate. He was I think he was a fake.
I'm so gutted that didn't work out. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so gutted that didn't work
Are
out.
you?
He's so talented, that guy. It's just he didn't have the right personality for English football.
One Rich Sports. I don't think we'll get Ndidi, but I'm happy with any quality specialist CDM. So am I. I'll be honest. As I said, let them find the peach. Let them find the peach.
I think the one thing that matters. I think the one thing that matters is: do you want a defensive midfielder that's a destroyer, which is Ndidi, like that'll just tear through defenses and let the creative, progressive midfielders do their job, or do you want a defensive midfielder that's happy to sit there, pick the ball up, and then just pass it around and let plays go? It's also good at dictating games.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the thing that Man United need to look at more as well. What do they want? Do they want a destroyer, or do they want a sitting midfielder that can do the defensive work as well? Because there's two different types of defensive midfielder, and that's what I'm like. So many people are like, oh, they want Ndidi. Some people want Declan Rice. I just want a fucking defensive midfielder.
Yep, it's true. Very true. Very true. So, guys,
Question from Charles Williams here. He's just obviously keeping up with the stream. Thank you, Charles, for engaging with us today. What about Basuma?
No. Give him to Arsenal.
Right, then let him stick with Brighton. Let him go to Arsenal. Let him go Arsenal.
Give Silver Fox something, man. Give Silver Fox
give him something.
Give him
Everyone's
Basuma.
turning him
He
down.
lost it on Locatelli. He lost it on Buendia. I mean, like, give him something, man. Feed him.
Give him. He can have him.
We'll give them Ben
White.
White.
The last one now, and it's Trippier. I'm going to put it out there, and I'm going to say I don't want him at Man United. We got Telles. Telles is a great player going forward, defensive as well, free kick specialist as well. So for me, no need for that. So we can have an open discussion. Who would like him at United? Just have an open discussion. Do you think he's a right fit? He's too old as well. I don't even know why this was put up on the thumbnail. Sorry, but gone. Because
I would take him at Man United. I would take Trippier at Man United.
But he's a right back. He's a right back, not a left back.
He can play both. He plays left and right.
Both roles.
So
he's predominantly a right back.
Yeah, exactly. He's predominantly a right back. But I would take him for a few reasons. One is we don't know if Telles is going to deliver next season or not. He hasn't delivered it so far. He may surprise us. Two, the experience that Trippier will bring to the team, I think is crucial as well. I think we're lacking players with experience in the team. And I think he's just won a big major trophy. He's done so well with England when called upon. And I think he knows he knows the Premier League. You know, I mean, he knows the Premier League. I'm not saying let's invest in him. He's older, but I think he can give us what the likes of Mata is giving to the youth. And also not just off the pitch, on the pitch. I think he can do what Telles does. He's very good at set pieces. He does take set pieces. He scores free kicks. Telles doesn't do that. And I think he's a good attacking fullback as well as defending, whereas Telles right now, the defending is questionable. I'm not saying give up on Telles, but I'm saying if they're going for Trippier, there's a reason why they're going for Trippier.
So going to I'm just gonna go to Big Phil. Big Phil, age-wise as well. Trippier, what, about another 2 years maximum? Telles has got another 4 years, maybe 5 years on him. Would this be a sensible deal though for Man United, or is there more to it? Because also there's rumours about Telles going on loan also as well.
Yeah, so just to squash those rumors, United are not accepting any loan from Roma because at the end of the day, they're thinking like all of us. We need as much players, we need as much hands on deck for this upcoming season if we're going to win the EPL title, right? Kieran Trippier, for 40 mil. That's a good question. I know the quality he can produce. I know he's better going forward on the right. He's better than Wan-Bissaka per se. He does provide a versatility as a left back as well. I'll be honest with you, Solo. I would go for him. I would, just because he's versatile on the left. He's versatile on the right, and he knows the Premier League, right? And I go for him, right? I wouldn't make him a priority, but I go for him. If it doesn't happen, I wouldn't lose any sleep. But if United go for it, and we do sign him, kudos to United.
Reese, I'm going now with it. It's what sort of Big Phil and OS is talking about, and he's more versatile as well as a player at Man United. Luke Shaw probably won't play as many games as what he did last season, and I think part of the reason is he's going to be a player that need a bit of rest to the amount of games he played last season. He was one of Man United players, outstanding players, who played the majority of the season. So bringing Trippier in, it would then boost the experience of the back line as well. If we could also get Varane in, and would make it more solid.
Varane.
No, I agree. In the grounds of it, like, he does give you a bit of experience. He's 33 years old. I think the fact that it's asking 40 million for him is a bit steep, but sometimes you have to spend if you want to improve your defence. But he's just went and won the La Liga title, so he gives you a winner as well. Pleasure on Monday, pleasure. There is a level to it if you want to bring someone in like that. He does offer us a threat. There are certain games where we may not even play a back four next year. We could end up playing a back three in certain games. You may have to play wing back. And to be fair, I wouldn't mind, because he gives us that dimension where we could just ask him to attack teams. We don't need them necessarily to defend. We can just keep him bombing forward. I'd be fine with that. But when we play games that require him to play against a low block and we're playing a back four, he'll be perfect for those games. Use Wan-Bissaka against the teams that are a bit more quicker, that necessarily you would need him to catch up with the pacer wingers. Then that's not a problem. Like Trippier, we can use him in the second half for an advantage. I think it's a good move. We get him for like 2 or 3 years. I'm fine with that. I've got no problem with that. It gives other players a chance to develop as well, like Ethan Laird, for example. For me, I hope to see him in the first team in a few years' time. This actually is a good way for him. We can loan him out for a year or two as well. Again, we can take advantage of the Championship, like loan him there. So if we were to bring in Trippier, it's 2 birds with 1 stone. Gives us competition for Wan-Bissaka, and it lets us develop our young players. But like you said, it strengthens our defence, and crucially, to win a league title, scoring goals is important, but you win a title with a world-class defence.
Talk MU, I'm going to you now. For me, it's going to be bringing Trippier in, and it's almost like last season when you saw what Maguire did, and it's a good call when Reece talk about low blocks, and when we played against a team like West Brom, also when we played against, say, Crystal Palace, what Harry Maguire was doing, he was almost acting as another sort of winger. So I think bringing Trippier in, I'm going to take it back, and I'm going to say it could work to our advantage. So Talk MU, looking at last season and almost how Maguire had to sort of play and come forward, this would be a massive advantage for Man United to sign him, because he's very technical on the ball. He's He's still got pace, and he can play both sides of like either left or right as well.
Yeah, I mean, get him signed now. You know what I mean? What else are we going to get with 40 million? You know what I mean? You ain't going to get nothing else. Let's have it right. So I think it'd be good. I think it'd be money well spent. And also, yeah, it'll free us up. Also, for all the competitions, for the cup competitions, we can go full steam at everything. You know, this is Ollie's best chance of getting a trophy when he can, you know, go for like most of the cup competitions as well with a, you know, with a really decent team, putting a decent team out there, because, you know, we need to be doing that. You know, the point of making players hungry is tempting them. You know, you've got to tempt them with the carrot and stick arrangement. So, yeah, for me, he's an absolute great addition to our squad. So why for 40 million quid, you know, why would we not you know, bring him in? Like you say, the Premier League experience goes without saying, that's priceless. So yeah, like I said, I'd signed him yesterday.
So going on to Mr. B. Mr. B, if we went out, we signed Trippier, we got VARANE, as what we're calling him, and then we went and we obviously got Jadon Sancho as well. That's about 130, roughly 130, 140 million Man United spent. Would that be a very good transfer window for you, or would you still, as we're all talking about, the main benefactor we need as well, we need a CDM at the club, but would you take this as a good transfer window?
Sorry, man, I'm trying to be professional here, and I've just seen a message from this silly woman.
Yo, big up Melina as well.
Big up Melina. Big up Melina.
Yeah, big up Mel.
Sorry, I
I
had it
applaud
on.
that. That's genius.
Oh, gems,
All right,
oh,
Lucifer, how's it
gems,
going?
oh, gems.
What's the sound? What's the sound though, Mr. B?
There's no sound. Don't take any notice of anything. When we sign Varane, I'll make the sound.
I think the best thing is now is you look at the. I think the best thing about the players we're looking at, like Trippier, and like we've got Telles. I don't see Telles going. I think he's going to be given a chance. But you look at Trippier, we are like people are saying Jadon Sancho or Varane's our sign of the summer. As much as I would like to agree, I don't. Our sign of the summer is Eric Ramsey. And and the reason is because players like because of players like Kieran Trippier and Alex Telles and Fernandes, Pogba, like these sort of players thrive off set pieces, like whether they can be the threat or they can defend them. Maguire as well, he's going to have a better option. That for me is the sign of the summer. And if we get in Trippier as well for playing as a back five, Trippier and Telles is bombing wing backs. A little bit more danger from there as well. I've got no problem with that. But the fact that we've got a guy like Ramsey in as well, it gives them confidence to actually deliver as well for the team overall. That's what I'm more intrigued about. Over any signing, that for me is signing of the summer.
Sure. So going back to Mr. B. Mr. B, are you back now with us?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, man, I lost it for a couple of minutes there. Man. Sorry.
Yeah, Gemma is on it again, isn't she? Thanks for the comments. So what I'll say, Mr. B, it's Man United obviously going in transfer market, and would it be a good transfer market if we went on and spent, I think it's about 135 million it would work out to be. But remember, we also borrowed 120 million from the bank as well.
We've been borrowing money since the Glazers were here. It's nothing new. At the end of the day, if we win the league, I don't care how much money we spend now, if I'm honest. They've been sucking money out of the club for ages. It's better that they go and spend it. You know what I mean? Everybody's talking about what we're spending, when we don't spend money, we get criticised. We're spending money, we're spending too much. I don't care if we go out there and spend £250 million. Give us a squad that can, one, clap Liverpool's arse and close the gap on Man City. At the end of the day, if these are the players that we are buying, to me, it's intent. we talk about squad depth. We're going to have squad depth. Apart from, I'm trying to think. No, we will have squad depth.
Yeah,
You know,
we'll actually have squad depth in most, if not all, of the areas around the pitch. Yeah. We will.
Yeah, I think the problem we've got is who, as I said already, the problem we've got is who we're selling. That is, I think that's the biggest issue.
Not Fred.
Look, that's another conversation. We don't have much more time talking on this, so we'll save Fred for, and we'll save the whole of our central midfield for when we sign a holding midfielder. When we sign a holding midfielder.
This is a good point from Silver Fox, by the way. So it's a very, very good point.
Go on, Mr. D.
One thing he said, I'm going to be really honest. Man United look like they're doing bits, strengthening in the areas where it's needed, but there's still, look, I'm not even.
Our latest comment is.
Yeah, I'm not finishing that one. Lay off our manager, Mr. Silver Fox.
Mr. B, hold on, just tell him. Look, we talked about the manager, right? But and what did I mentioned this? We all mentioned it going back, way back, right? About Ollie making decisions, identifying things that aren't working. The fact that he's brought in this guy, this coach, this really great coach, tells you he's identifying where weaknesses lay. So he's making changes and improving things because, you know, you can't. We have to give him great credit for that because he understands everything, every aspect of the club, and this is the gold that we've got with Ollie. He understands every corner and nook and cranny of the club, and we have to give him the opportunities of when he makes changes to see those changes through and give him a chance to make an impression on the boys and on the performances, because it will come. Monday, big up.
Sounds like a preview for the Dr. Phil Says show.
So, guys, can we go through the comments now? We're going to wrap up, and then I'm just going to give you Reese a shout out to talk about Dr. Phil and his surgery.
Right, so we've got one here from, we've got one from Miss Melina.
Hello, Miss Melina.
Appreciated, thank you.
Miss, big up, Mel.
Reese. Oh, sorry, it's not Reese. It's a Monday. Reese is a top panelist. Welcome to the agenda. Greeting to the show, guys.
Welcome.
We've got one from TM. Where you been, man? Where you been hiding?
Yeah, big up TM.
Yeah, where you been hiding, man? Big up everyone on the panel. This is from Melina. She's enjoying the chat. I'm actually going to put these messages up. Yeah, we know he's not. That's an opinion that you can keep for yourself. I'm not going to put that one up there. I'm not going to put the next one up. I'll bypass that one.
Yep.
Okay, Amonde. Okay, making us one of the favourites. It will be interesting to see.
Amonde made us favourite last season. Don't listen. Move on. Next comment. Don't worry about Amonde.
We had this one up already, didn't we?
Yeah, about that.
My laptop's up the creek. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Oh no, not again.
What?
Oh,
I tell you, look, we don't, if I put these messages up here, we're gonna be here all day. You can save those for the group, Miss Admin.
Just bringing it from the group to the show. Come off it now.
Yes, Mel. Yes, Mel.
Yes, Mel. Big up, Mel. Thank you. And Silver Fox.
Where are we? Got your Silver Fox.
Mel, not sure any love for Dr. Phil. Well, I feel bad.
We're going to be showing love for Dr. Phil now. We are going to show love for Dr. Phil.
Yes.
I feel heartbroken.
Yes.
If you're watching, please like, please share, please subscribe. We're the Man United Agenda, and this has been the Transfer Show. So, can we find out where Reese is from? So, Reese, tell us where we can find you, and please like, share, subscribe to Reese's channel.
So you can find me on Twitter. It's below at R7UN1T3D. It's United with a little bit of a numerical form. You can also find me at Twitch if you're into a bit of gaming. It's Reese_Lightning1997. I don't have my own channel, but I do represent a channel. It's the Weekly Armchair Sports Talk. You can find me on there. You can also catch me on Rich Sports now and again when I wind up talking to you about England losing the Euros final. And you can check anywhere that's to do with Man United or football. You can find me because football's my jam, and winding up morons is my game. So
Absolutely love it. Absolutely. Thank you so much for being on.
it has been a pleasure being on here, boys. Happy to be on again. I absolutely enjoyed it.
Dr. Phil. So I'll put you on solo. The reason why, live this Thursday, Dr. Phil will be open for surgery. Brand new show will be out, and the show will be talking all things to do.
He's got the sanitizer. That says it
Oh, that
all.
worries me,
It
Phil.
says it all.
Oh, no, wait, that worries me. That worries me, man, because I don't need no
Phil
like
will be opening
instructions, man.
surgery, guys. It will be on Thursday night, so please check Dr. Phil out for the new show.
Yeah.
And we're analysing Oligonosocial, and he's got his yeah, no, I'm not even going to say it. I'll keep quiet. I wonder what you guys did for Monday the other day. To Mr. B the other day. I'll ignore it. Sidestep. So, guys, if you're liking, please like, please share, please subscribe. We have been the Man United Agenda, and we have been talking about all things Manchester United and the upcoming transfer. So, from me, it's a lovely finish off for me.
Good
Lovely evening from me. Thank you, guys. Thanks to everyone for the comments, participation, and we'll see you on Sunday for the first reaction show.
Ciao.
Bye.